going on, guys? It's Jay here. This is Faith Evolved, and I am on the way to Arizona for the first time, technically second time because I went through it to Utah, but I digress. But I'm going to the supposed spiritual vortex mecca of the United States, and technically I'm going to Lake Bonatuza, but I'll be 22 miles south of Sedona, Arizona. And I am looking forward to seeing what the big hoopla is all about, and trying not to set myself up for disappointment, because, well, that's kind of what this video is about. It's really about disappointment. It's about not being able to enjoy life, enjoy moments, because of the fact that you know that it's going to end, or that anxiety is going to creep up. And that's one of the things that's been kind of plaguing me. It's kind of like wrenching my soul. And it's really been a lifelong struggle, but really it's on the forefront. And I think it's what I'm going to be dealing with when I go to Arizona. I really hope that I'm really trusting in and trying to raise my vibration to the point of believing in and expecting that that's what's going to happen. And here we are. Welcome to Arizona, Grand Canyon State. Just entering now, just heading through Nevada, leaving Las Vegas, and I'm looking forward to just some R&R, but also some time, hiking and seeing what the spiritual vortex is all about. And so about this topic today, I'm doing this kind of off the cuff in the car as I'm driving, as you can tell, but I think the title of this video is going to be let's see, probably struggling with feeling happy, or something to that effect. The struggle with accepting happiness in your life. It's like, I feel like a lot of times, like even while I'm doing something that's supposed to be fun, I'm aware that I'm supposed to be having fun, and then that takes away from the fun. And it's a very kind of superficial explanation for it, but I wonder if I've tapped into something that all of humanity struggles with, and that's the reason why we're here, is learn just how to accept and try to have fun, despite the fact that countless trials and tribulations seem to plague us, seem to confront us every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Having to work, pay bills, having to deal with other people that sometimes you don't get along with, and how to deal with your own self and your struggles with either addictions or bad habits or mental health or physical problems, just different things that you have to struggle with as a human being, aches and pains, whatever the case may be. Just all of that thrown at you from every angle, but trying to have fun while going through all that. So going hiking, like I enjoy hiking, I enjoy camping, I enjoy going for drives like I'm doing right now. And, there's other things that I think I would enjoy, but I feel like anxiety would try to take over. Like maybe, parasailing or hang gliding or something like that. Just even sometimes doing things with other people. Like thinking in the future, like, trying to imagine events that will be fun. And then, all the things that might come up, like the what if questions, like what if this, what if that, what if it's too hot, what if it's too cold, what if, I can't afford it, what if this, that, and the other thing, what if the person I'm with I'm not getting along with, what if it doesn't feel as good as I expected it to. And I think that's really the biggest what if question is, what if it doesn't feel as good as I expected to? What if love doesn't feel as good as I expected to? What if enlightenment, awakening, doesn't feel as good as I expected it to? And that's kind of like what I deal with. Like, for example, yesterday I went to Zion National Park in Utah, and I was struggling a little bit with anxiety and OCD on the way there. And, for the most part, I think I worked through it, but there was a point in time about maybe an hour or two where I was feeling depressed. And then I was feeling really tired. And it might have been something I ate, might have been because I smoked a cigarette earlier. And usually I don't smoke, but sometimes I'm on vacation, or once in a while I'll have a cigar or a cigarette. So I kind of, don't pay attention as much to being healthy when I've had so many treats already so far. So I'm sure there's some, something to do with it there, and I'm susceptible a little bit to digestive upsets at times. Not as much as I was before because I've been losing weight and getting healthy and getting fit, and that's helped a lot. But so I think there's some, dietary and physical contributions to that. But something I dealt with a lot more when I was going through the dark night of the soul, and I felt like I've overcome it. And so I was dealing hardcore with that, but I just, all the things I learned from coming through the dark night of the soul, like thinking positively, raising my vibration, not giving into the emotion, the darkness that tries to creep in when you get into that mindset. And, but still seem to get in the way is like, there's times when I'm starting to enjoy myself, and then I think, oh, I'm starting to enjoy myself right now. And then that thought somehow seems to like sap the enjoyment out of the moment. It takes me out of living in the moment, and I don't know why. And is that just something I'm struggling with, or is it something that everybody struggles with, but they have a problem with articulating it as well as I'm articulating it now? And it's really a soul-sucking experience. Like, I just want to be able to enjoy my music, and a lot of times I can. Sometimes I'm in the car driving, I'm really jamming to a song.
Hazard reported ahead.
But sometimes, something, a past memory comes up and haunts me. Or the thought of, oh, I'm having fun right now. Is this really gonna stick? Is this really gonna happen? Is this really gonna feel as good as I hoped it was gonna feel? And it's almost like you should go into a situation and just be in the moment without analyzing it to really fully enjoy it. And then you realize after the fact, wow, that was good. And there are times, like even with things I do, I do now, where I can be kind of in the moment, and I'm not analyzing and thinking about it. I'm enjoying myself, and then I look back and I go, oh wow, I had like 20 minutes where I just wasn't worried about anything. I was just enjoying myself. That was cool, And there are some rare moments when I'm in meditation that I can, feel my vibration lifting to the point where I know that the anxiety's back there, but it doesn't faze me. It doesn't bother me, and I want to be able to sustain that. Is it possible to sustain that, just being in the moment while knowing you're in the moment, without it taking away from your enjoyment of being in the moment? Is that possible? Because that seems to be the biggest thing my biggest question in life right now is, can you have your cake and eat it too? Can you be in the moment and know you're in the moment and still embrace all of it as good as, if you didn't know that you were living in the moment? You just, playing music or spending time with friends or, playing a game or making love, whatever the case is that you're doing, that you're in the moment and enjoying it. And it's like you can't flip a switch that says, all right, this part of your brain is not going to check to see if you're having fun right now. Like, it seems like there's a tripwire in my brain sometimes that checks. And it's a very similar concept to OCD. If you know what OCD is, I struggled really bad with that a couple of years ago, and it still comes up every so often. And that is, I don't know if it's a default mode network, they say, is like part of your brain that needs to be reset. Because I've done a lot of study, or a lot of research, really, I should say, not studying, research on this. And some people would say that, oh, if you do psychedelics, it'll help reset that default mode network so that you're not always, going to a certain negative space. You kind of like start over, and you can kind of reformulate those pathways in your brain and purposely think positively, and kind of give you a chance to reset and set those pathways. So that's my biggest struggle is, can I enjoy my life without checking if I'm happy? I think that actually might be the title of this video. And the second part of the question is, even if I am aware that I'm happy, can I maintain or even increase the amount of happiness that I have now that I'm thinking of it and I'm conscious of it? Is that possible? And I wonder, if someone like Jesus, like a really, thoroughly awakened and enlightened person like Jesus, if he was able to be happy and be aware of it, and be conscious of it, and either at least maintain his current state of happiness or increase it based on thinking that. Like, that to me would be the ultimate superpower. to just be able to be in the moment and know it. That's, really what it comes down to, having your cake and eat it too. And it might come down to a worthiness thing. And I know that part of it has been a worthiness thing. Like, for example, if you see someone else on the side of the road, with a sign saying, "I'm homeless, please help, God bless," and they're accepting money, and you're driving down the street in a brand new car, and you have money in your wallet, and you live in a nice place, and you have food on your table, and house, roof over your head, seeing somebody else in lack sometimes can hit me and make me feel negative, like, almost like, man, it's not fair that I'm well off and this guy's not, So that's another aspect of it. It's like, and some of the research I've done into, just bettering yourself is accepting and being, grateful, have gratitude and just contentedness with what you have. Because if you're happy with yourself, you are able to somehow, offer that to somebody else, spread that joy to somebody else. And so it's not a matter of you having to handicap yourself or lower yourself at somebody else's level. It's just that when you come over to somebody else that's, not less than you, but that's not as good off as you, like, your fulfilledness and happiness should draw them to you.
Hazard reported ahead.
And help rise them to your level. So I get that concept, but as far as living that and experiencing that, that's what I would like to get to. And lastly, like I said, I'm going to Arizona, checking out those spiritual zones in Sedona, and I'm hoping I can connect with the spiritual forces out there, and they can help me and answer some questions that I have and get me to that next level. That's really where I'm at now. I'm not suffering in hell anymore, but I'm always teetering on the edge of heaven and hell. Sometimes within the same second, same minute. It's like I'm sitting on the ledge, and sometimes I give in to hell, sometimes I give in to heaven, or accept heaven. And I'd like to get to the point where I can more consistently stay in heaven and less often go to hell. And when I say those terms, I mean like on a vibrational level, emotionally and mentally and spiritually, not physically. Obviously we're on Earth right now, but yeah. Now I'm just rambling, but thanks for watching, guys. This is my second video while I'm out here. I'm going to be uploading these two videos at the same time tonight when I get there. Today's September 3rd, so if you're watching this and you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and share on social media. Comment below if you have any comments or questions, and I always respond to pretty much everybody that writes to me. God bless.